Hello everyone, excuse the appearance, I'm just out of work and I'm waiting for raw milk to be delivered. And it's an hour and a half late. So anyway, I put a video out the other day about a dream I had in October of 2023 regarding the pew-pewing of a certain person. Now at the time I didn't know what it meant, right? It was just this, I'm going to go into detail about the dream because I think it's going to talk about things that are coming next. But you be the judge of that. So anyway, this dream started when I was in a big house, right? And I took it, when I saw Trump, I took it that it was the White House because it was this big house, but a storm started brewing, right? And I was like, it was being blown down. All that was left of this house was the wooden timbers. There was nothing left of it. So that would indicate to me that something's going to take down the whole establishment, right? Then, so I was trying to climb up. It was like the house was sinking, it seemed like, because I had this big embankment to the side of the house, that would be between the right-hand side if you're looking at it from the front. And I'm trying to climb up, and I'm wearing these waterproof suits, and I'm sliding back down, and it's really hard to get up. It's like a swamp, right? So I finally get to the top, and I look over, and there's Trump going along the street in his golf cart. It's like he's just came out the front door, and as soon as he's left, the house has collapsed, right? It's collapsing, getting blown down. So when I climbed up, I realised that I think my daughter's with me, but then my daughter turned into this other little girl who I thought was my sister for some reason, and then her boyfriend, but they were both like 7-8-year-olds, so it showed me they were young, right? Anyway, they suddenly appeared and I'm like, oh, I've got to look after you now, right? Because that's just what I always do. I'll just fix this a bit because I'm a bit bright. Oh, that's maybe a bit too much. But anyway, so when I looked at Trump on his golf cart and he was surrounded by Secret Service, the wind was howling all the time in the stream, right? It was like hard to stand up, it was hard to move, the wind was pushing us, it was raining, his golf cart blew over. Which I think now in retrospect would be the court cases against him. Like they're going to try and blow him down, but he's going to get back up, right? Because he didn't even seem to notice he'd blown over. It's like he blew over and then he was laughing and joking and sitting back down and he kept on going. Like nobody even said, are you alright, sir? You know, it was like it didn't happen. And they were carried on down the street laughing and joking. It came to a T-junction and they turned right at the T-junction. I don't know what right means, but they turned right. And the kids I was with, I just noticed a little boy get this little tiny bow and arrow and shoot like, I don't know, 3-4 arrows at Trump. And I'm like, what are you doing, you know? And it's not that I didn't care about Trump getting hit. It was instantly I cared about the Secret Service is going to return fire, right? That was my big worry, like, oh, God, the Secret Service is going to see us. They're going to see what you've done. But then I was like, but no one's noticing. They've not even looked. This guy's on the slope, this hill thing, you know, and he's firing from this like slope on the edge of the swamp that's not used to be the White House, and they just carry on like no one did anything. And I'm like, that was odd. Why didn't they do anything, right? So anyway, they turn right and they carry on. So I'm like, oh well, no one's noticed. So I go up and I turn left. So we're going opposite directions. Which probably means he's taking the political route and I'm taking the spiritual route, because I'm all about cleansing your parasites out your mind, as in energetic parasites. For a living for a long time, I was a exorcist and I do tarot readings for like the last 30 years. So I'm all about getting your body and your energetic body and your mind to the place it needs to be for the next step in your evolution, right? Whereas he's taking down the people. So I think that's why we split left and right. And I'm looking at all these people and they're all sitting at the outside tables, coffee tables, and they're all drinking coffee and stuff, but the wind is howling, right? And no one seems to notice. They're all just sitting there, their clothes are blowing, their hair's blowing, the parasols in the middle of the tables are lifting up and taking off, and everyone's just chatting like oblivious to this storm. Papers blown down the street, like billboards and stuff, that it's nearly hitting people and they're not even noticing. And I'm like, what is this? Can they not see this storm? So my take from all that back in October, right? I didn't even see it as an attempt on Trump, to be honest, right? I didn't even focus on that. Otherwise I probably would have put a video out on it at the time. but I shared it with everyone and we all spoke about it, and I've spoke about it since October actually, because I fixated on the storm part of it, thinking, is it a solar storm coming? And I was like, no, because people would notice that. I was like, it seems to be like a storm, a wind of change. You know, there's a wind of change coming and people are oblivious to this wind of change. So maybe I should have put a video out back then, because I noticed one guy in the comments put edited. I was like, well, yeah, I edit all my posts because I type so fast that I've got a number in the middle of my words and then it makes this weird word, right? So anyway, but the thing is, it was edited at something like 17:25 or something. I'm in Scotland, right? In October, right? But because I posted it the day that Trump was shot, right? And I think Scotland time, I think it was something like 11:25, 11:15 or something. So even then, it was still like 3 hours before it actually happened in Scotland time. You know, if I was in America, right, and I'd posted it and I'd edited it at 19:25, it was still 2 hours before it happened. So I was like to the guy, yeah, but I'm in Scotland. It's not like I'm in America and it happened in the afternoon, I'm putting it at night. I can tell. Do you want to see? I live in Scotland. I'm in Scotland. So that cuts that out of the way. I still posted it before, you know, the time it happened, right? Anyway, I just wanted to give that update because what I think is going on here is that because after the shooting, the storm was intensifying and blowing, and it's like he turned right, he's getting on with his work. I think this whole dream was talking about the swamp is being cleared, and it was giving me confirmation that the swamp is being cleared. Now, if you've ever watched my YouTube, I've always had dreams, usually 10 years ahead of time. Like I dreamt about the queues of people getting vaccinated. I've dreamt about all the Muslims coming through. This is all in the book that was already published. So that I've always had prophetic dreams. It's like that's my job on earth. As a teenager, they gave me dreams, and it would happen exactly the next day to show me, listen to your dreams, they're going to give guidance. So that's kind of what I volunteered to do on earth. Have dreams, tell you about it. And I used to get frustrated going, but I'm just getting dreams of things and I'm not able to change it. It's like, you're not meant to change it, you're just meant to know. You'll understand in the future. And now I do. Now I'm like old now, you know, I do get why I'm getting them. Because we do need hope in this time, right? My son was saying to me yesterday, he's 22, he's like, oh, I just hate this country. And I'm like, Stephen, it's the whole world. He's like, it's the energy of the country. I went, no, it's not. It's the energy of the world. I said, remember I was told back in 2012, the energy is going to get higher and higher and higher, and it's going to feel like everyone's like a boiled frog, right? It's going to feel really bad. It's going to be really intense, and some people will go crazy because they can't handle the energy. So what I would suggest at the back of this, right, is that there's people coming at the houses. I don't like to scare the normies. You've probably heard that. People are going to really need to take a deep breath, take a little time off from watching the news, and centre on your energy. Go and hug some trees, go and sit by rivers with running water. Imagine the water cleansing you of all your stress and built up tension concerning this situation we're living in, because it is going to get more and more crazy. And my son's been brought up meditating and connecting to higher beautiful energies, and he's finding it hard. So I can only imagine people that haven't been trained in this, how they're coping. It's getting tougher, but the dream was showing me that he's carrying on with his work, he's doing his work, we have to keep doing ours, clearing energy. And I was just bearing witness to the fact there that the White House, what I took it as, because Trump came out and suddenly the storm happened, is being dismantled. So be prepared for the complete breakdown of society. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as what that would normally have sounded like. They're taking so long over this because they've obviously got something else to put in place. If they wanted to just take it down, right, they could have done that a few years ago. But I think they're trying to not upset people. Like they don't want society being Mad Max, so I think this is why it's taken so long, because they're having to do things really carefully to keep as much of the people safe as they can. But anyway, I hope that reaches you all well, and much love to you all. Bye bye.